deal? What's the deal? Alright, man, we back. Had to take a little break, man. A little day break. I'm gonna kick this one off with a shout out to baby girl Leah in the form of Area Terror. That's the Green Terror. That's a Naples version of her. You know, she in the building, slowly creeping back around. You know, the dog is slipping, coming around the corner and shit. So, start out with that. 2, hey man, keep me out of your fucking shenanigans, man. Look, let me say something, bro, because I don't want to. It's hot. The motherfucking sun ain't bullshitting. I feel like niggas is playing games. Tell you something, bro. If you getting any time, I get this five for one. The motherfucking oppressor or the cracker, whatever you want to call it, they already doing this shit. Motherfuckers are not really made just looking at. I'm everywhere, put it like that. But my pockets is light as a fucking feather. I don't look. The shit I do, bro, I don't trip on people utilizing shit that I teach. But for one, it ain't what you do, it's how you do it. Then I got love for my people. People in general. I'm a ever loving the Sam. Yeah, but don't get it fucked up. You know, I'm gonna say it on camera because you know you push it on. I said it on the gram and shit. But I want to look too crazy. I don't like, you know. Sometimes I leave shit up, but I don't want to just be looking too crazy. You know. That's why I said here, man. Any motherfucker that's ever, this is really what pissed me off. You know what I'm saying? Any motherfucker that ever made an attempt to stop me from getting some bread, bro. I don't give a fuck if it was today, yesterday, 5, 10 years ago. Bro, you need your motherfucking head smacked. See, when you fuck with the bread, you fuck with my livelihood. You know what I'm saying? So if you playing them type of games and you trying to block me from getting any kind of bread or have done that, it's up with you, man. Just know that. We don't leave anything. But that's like I say, if you don't shoot don't fit, don't worry about it. I got a little too general. I'm gonna post and shit. I don't wanna, you know, I got a lot of people I got love for that. Even though you ain't sending a nigga no fucking bread either. With the cash apps. Yeah, I ain't letting you off the hook with that, but you know, you still out there. I ain't no whole ass nigga like that. But I just know it's duly noted. So I don't want niggas to think that. You know, I'm just some fucking nigga here talking to you looking for a payday or some shit. But you know, as I said, now the sun, that's fucking heat. You know, I gotta walk to upload this shit. Yeah, walk every time I fucking walking. That fucking son, you talking like, man, you know what? Fuck these whole ass niggas. Yeah, so yeah, you know, but yeah, man. Yeah, I just want to say that. But I got all my real motherfuckers out there. Even though you ain't, we gonna get more than that though. Even though you ain't, cause I'm still on it. I shouldn't have brought that up. But I got to think, you know me, I get to overthinking shit. I don't even know if they call it overthinking. It's some real shit. I'm thinking, but you know, they won't even send a nigga shit a quarter. I don't think it was just a quarter here, man. You know, that's all I can do, man. Here's a quarter. Thank you, bro. It's the thought that counts. Basically what I'm trying to say. You know, I could easily, trust me, if I was just a regular nigga, and I I didn't say, hey man, I'm gonna get up here and teach people and shit. Believe me, 9 times out of 10, I'd be doing. If you think me having to ask you for a cash app, here and there, or whatever the fuck, well, we ain't got here and there. I probably won't never do that shit again. Like I said, I'm selling some shit, cause I see them niggas stand there. But if you don't think that shit is connected to me sitting here teaching you all this shit, the fact that I have, you're saying, I'm gonna double down. I think I said that already, but I'll double down on it. So just get that out the way. But if you trying to block me from using bread, you in the way. Yeah, I don't know for who you. That go for anybody. I don't care where you stand at. Conscious, dead, sleep, alive, woke, in between. I don't give a fuck, nigga. It's anybody, man, woman, child. Yeah, just, I don't really do these type of announcements that much, but something's telling me, hey man, you at least tell these motherfuckers, But anyway, now let's get back to what I was saying. Now this is what I was saying basically was this motherfucker, Earth originally is a school, right? So you have these different you have these different you have different schools of thought. If you get Secret Teachings of All Ages, one of the first chapters, the first 2 chapters, they take you through different schools of philosophies, which you don't really hear that word too much no more. That's what I would call my nigga Greg a philosopher, for lack of a better way of putting it, because we wasn't sitting around talking about deities and shit. Well, he was my brother's homeboy. We kicked 2,000 hours around niggas and shit too. But it was more so, my brother's partner or whatever. You have different, and that's what I would say about screw too. That's probably the best way I can explain it. Cause I don't want you to think you're gonna go get some screw tapes and they're gonna be on that bitch talking about Kundalini rides and all this shit. But there's some spiritual shit on there. When screw tape, but we don't not. You have to have a third. You have to be into it. I guess I don't even speak for myself. Like I said, I didn't. This nigga just sent me messages through that shit, and I ain't talking about no love. I'm talking about shit the niggas was doing back in the game. They didn't even know me. Just shit that he said on the tape, and then I just fuck around, happened to listen to that tape today on today's time, and they be saying some shit that ain't got nothing to, like, saying some shit that they was saying in the moment when they was making the tape that ain't got nothing to do, that had nothing to do with me at the time. But the synchronicity between when I was, like I said, one tape, he said, we were talking about, just the tape that had, Pyro Love on it, but then at the same time, the nigga was like, I guess he was talking to one of his homeboys that died on a motorcycle. I mean, not died, but had a motorcycle accident or whatever. Now, he was telling me, I don't fuck. Now, this was more so of a, not like a message, but it pertained to me because I don't fuck with motorcycles. Like, I'm good. It probably was saying, yeah, stick to that one. Don't fuck the motorcycles. And that ain't for everybody. You do motorcycles your thing, that's your thing. But that's how the Bloody Mary connection thing came, because the Pyro song on there, and she died. I think she got hit. She was riding. I don't know if she was on a bike. I gotta go look at it again. I don't know if she was on a motorcycle or a bike, but she got she had an accident on a bike. That's how she passed away. Whatever. All the more reason for me not to fuck with motorcycles. Which same thing with Aaliyah, baby girl. She did the video and shit, put the motorcycle, whatever, on the dust herself out and try again. But in the video, when she did the interview, she said, I don't fuck with motorcycles. Just like me, I don't fuck with motorcycles. Now, we somewhere, I'm fucked off somewhere. I need to goddamn ride, and it's far. And the only way to go is a motorcycle. even that is gonna be a problem because I just can't. A nigga driving a motorcycle, this is a girl or something, then I kind of like still. That's something about that. I don't know that motorcycle. I'm not a fearful type of guy, so maybe I would try. It had to be a girl though. I'm not sitting in the back of the motorcycle. So teachers on. I ain't necessarily saying this engagement in general. But just for me, I'm not sitting on the back of the motorcycle. Hold on, nigga, waist, bro. I don't know. If I ain't got to, then we somewhere that's like, man, car stranded. Car break down in the middle of fucking, some old wild shit, middle of the highway, and this 200 miles. I'd probably just fucking hitchhike. But then again, that's dangerous too. You don't know who the fuck you get in the car with these days. So today fucked up. Once upon a time, you can hitchhike and, pretty much be all right. Nowadays, I put a little bit fuck that shit. Hitchhiking, fuck that. But anyway, let me not switch what sound like. But anyway, there's schools of thought. Let's get back to the main line. There's many different schools of thought. But but you have certain schools of thought, like with the Gnostics had like nihilism, and which is basically or even like you would hear even bodies. He partakes in that to a certain degree or whatever. Just to be safe on the safe side of saying it, because I say that because, like I told you, you never know what the fuck Bobby is. One day he be feeling this way, he say some shit like this, whatever. But that's basically a mentality of viewing So yeah, let me get straight to the point though before I get to wondering out and shit. So anyway, you have nihilism. Basically what nihilism is basically a mentality of fuck the earth or you hear people say, oh, the objective is to die and never come back, and all this, I'm ready to get off the planet and all this shit. You hear Bobby talking about that shit too, ready, that basically them that's just having a death wish or some shit. Now, even Pop, Holyfield death is coming back reincarnated. I wish I was never born. And all this old shit. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not shitting on that. It's a hell of a ride down here, so I understand all that shit, don't get me wrong. But I don't think that, I think that's conditional. What I mean by that is, and this I'm going to tie back into why I left off at in the last video, but this is why it's good not to be a yes man, because if I was you hear me talking about Bobby and like Bobby this, Bobby that, but if I was just a yes man, I'd be just like them niggas or him. I'm like, fuck the earth, I'm ready to die now, and all this shit. That's not necessarily the case with me. I'm not, I don't necessarily have a fear of death, but I'm not necessarily running around this bitch talking about, and I'm not knocking my boy either. That's but you'll understand what I'm saying when I'm saying. I'm just trying to take shit to another level, or push my research further past from where he was at, that was standing on his shoulders. But I think that shit was conditioned. Basically, what I'm saying is, because you have, the way it works is you got 6,000 years of ruling, good rule, and then you have, you study this Persian mythology with Ahura Mazda. Ahura Mazda would be, to break it down into years, or if you just break it down of a year, Ahura Mazda would be spring to fall, and then Angry Manyu would be, which would be the equivalent of Set, Typhon, or whatever you want to call it. Angry Ahura Mazda would be like Heru or whatever. Ahura Mazda, but Ahura Mazda would be the summer harvest and all that shit, and then Angry Manyu would be the winter or whatever, fall and the winter, going back in the spring. And then when you're dealing with the great year, we break it down. A herd monster would be within the good rule, or a righteousness rule, and then the other 6,000 and remind you 6 months, 6,000. The other 6,000 would be with evil rule. The difference between now is that thing was the different. Now what we going into now, evil is supposed to be subdued for good. But when I say evil is supposed to be subdued for good, you be like, well, you'll always have someone and you'll always have a winner, right? But when they say that we're going to a golden age and we conquering death for good now, basically what it's saying is you will always, this shit won't be ruled, it'll be ruled by righteous rulers from here on out. But there will always be the yin and the yang. You have your good days, you always have your good days, you always have your bad days. But it won't be up to a point of where this shit is not. This shit is now we live in an age where this shit is strategically meant to be ruled by selfishness and abuse of authority, abuse of people that abuse their authority or whatever. That's really what we've been going through. That's why I say you go watch the episode of I don't even know what it was, but when you had Three's Company, it was a spin-off of Three's Company, when John Ritter went and he was working for some guys in a restaurant, but he was working on stacking his money to open his own restaurant. But the guy he was working for told him, if the people that you work for are happy, you're doing your job wrong when you run the business. See, that's high. That's white boy crap oppressive one. We'll just put it on all white people, because all white people, I don't want to say all white people think like that, so excuse me. That's oppressive, cracker, pseudo-white supremacy thinking. It makes no fucking sense. But I'm saying all that to say, I think nihilism and all that shit, we hear about, oh, the earth was a floor and all this other shit, and I'm like, well, or the thing, well, y'all the broth created the physical and trapped us in it. I mean, hold the fuck up. If we the lords of the universe, no, y'all the broth is just the part of us that built this physical world. The workmen, the fiery workmen, which would translate today's time as the fucking ego, or whatnot, or the conscious mind. But what I'm trying to say, if I was a yes man, if I just was rolling with that and didn't have my own perspective, I would come to the conclusion I'm telling you right now, which is take it back to the East Side High shit. Once upon a time, the things that make you say the earth is fucked up and the world is fucked up, for the most part, is just okay. When you a pure soul or whatever, you're not bound to the body, so you won't be as limited or whatever. You don't have to take shits and pisses and worry about how you gonna eat and shit. I'm not a fan of taking shits either. Funny crazy that sound. I'm not like that one. Pisses, you in and not taking shit. It's like, damn, I gotta go to this shit again. Fuck. You know what I'm saying? But and of course you ain't got no body. You ain't gotta worry about. The only part of you that feels pain is your body or whatever. That's why that's another thing I want to talk to speak to the newbies about too. When you get to studying all this chemistry, when you get to the 42 negative confessions, which is what the 10 Commandments was taken out of. Don't trip, don't get scared. You knew it because you've done something. When you read them 42. It ain't nobody escaping that shit. It's gonna say shit. I have not lied. I have not this, that, and the third. I have not this. You gonna find some shit you did, but it's not talking about you fucked up because whatever. But even then, I have to find it. But it's a perfect example of what I'm gonna say. And I think CUTs of all ages. Basically, there's one part in there where you're talking about somebody in the Egyptian underworld in the judgment, whatever, basically saying that when it was pointing at the organs, the physical organs, and saying if I violated any of the rules, blame it. It's like when we say blame it on my heart, not my. Excuse me, blame it on the head, not the heart. That's basically what it's. This is just another version of saying that. It's like blame it on the physical aspect of me, but my soul didn't do that because really this is a dream. So it's like saying, like when they say it's the Matrix, it's basically like saying I didn't do it. It's not coming from the heart. My soul, the real me didn't do that. Your real you is your soul. So all the shit you doing down here is based off of ego. So it's basically saying it's basically disassociating because when you make the transition, you don't you the ego behind whatever to a certain degree or whatever. But it's basically a disassociate. It's basically saying you, and that's the thing you want to disassociate yourself enough to where you want to be sucked. If you still glued to an egotistical mentality, when you pass on, you get instead of coming back down here on your own, you get sucked down here, and then all your knowledge, you lose all your knowledge and have to regain this shit all over. Now, once upon a time, let me go take it back to what I was saying. Nihilism and all that shit, when you see that narcissism and nihilism and all that shit, which is a fuck the earth type shit, fuck the physical and all this old shit, that is basically based off the fact, I'm willing to guarantee you that shit nihilistic thought came in the process when evil started to rule the world. Then you start having reasons, righteous people looking around you like, what the fuck am I coming? I didn't come here to take slavery, for example. You born in slavery and shit. You be looking around like, shit, the fuck am I here for? I guarantee you a lot of times when slaves, whoever who was working on the plantation and shit, when they went to sleep, they had groovy dreams. That shit happened to us in jail. That ass nigga that been in jail before. You didn't have a fucking dream in jail. You living it up. And you saw into the dream, you really thinking you in the free world and shit. You having a dream about being in the free world, and you wake up and be like, hey, this is a bitch. You know what I'm saying? So I'm quite sure when slaves would have, because you know, would probably have dreams where they living it up. Anything would be better than what the fuck they was going through. And then wake back up like, all right, goddamn it, here's the slop pig. Eat your fucking breakfast and pick your cotton or whatever the fucking bad hat nigga doing. I'm quite sure them boys was like, you know, I think if we left tomorrow, it wouldn't be a bad idea. It would, if they'll kick the bucket, if they'll kick the bucket, or don't wake up in the morning, it ain't gonna be that bad because we ain't doing nothing but waking up to serve for motherfuckers that ain't shit. So, you know. But once upon a time, coming to the planet wouldn't have been a fucking hassle because for one, everywhere was set where this shit was about learning. This was a school. Still is a school. But everywhere when you came back, you wouldn't have to worry about how was you gonna find out. We had systems in place to remind you of who the fuck you was. You wasn't know like you coming down here and just rolling the dice and shit. Now you came down here everywhere we was living in a world where it was set up. You didn't. Now you have church or Jumor and all this shit. Back then it was like, okay, when people come down here, we got shit. Well, you ain't just walking around here bumbling in it. Once you get to a certain grade, okay, it's time to initiate them, teach them what's going on, and voila. When all that shit went down the drain, then it became motherfuckers coming down here. You even like the Gnostics, they knew they was on their spiritual shit. When you looking around, you like, man, it's fucked up down here, but whoop the wham. So basically what I'm trying to say was it went from a good school, when even motherfuckers started running, they turned this shit into East Side High. And that's why I said I broke when I was on the porch. I was like, damn, this shit is like a fucking, these motherfuckers are like, white supremacy is like a fucking ghost. Because we don't see outside of TV and shit. And few faces and whatever. Of course you Bush and all this old shit, and but the but what really runs the motherfucking planet is the planet really is the system that they got in place, which they keep you abiding by it. So it's like a ghost. The system keeps you. The system that they got in place, as well as the shit that they tricked you into believing, and the way they've taught you how to think, is what really is your oppressor. They don't, to the point where they don't even have to be around. You don't see the motherfuckers who write the bills and shit and all this old dumb shit or whatever. So it's like a ghost. So I was thinking that shit, and I'm like, so I was thinking like that. I was like, yeah, this shit wasn't always like this. Earth is a school, so we were originally come out here to learn shit, which is what it's going back to. But we were originally that's why it was prophesied that men would raise up and bring back the teachings of old. But we were, when unruly niggas took a hold of the fucking planet, and then they failed to their creation. Go watch it's basically that's where the Frankenstein story come from. These niggas created that's the boss job. See, you hear Bobby say, "Well, the Earth was a boss job." It's like, no, we did what the fuck we were supposed to do. This shit is, if you really look at the planet, and I'm not no egotist. I understand everything them niggas be saying about but when you look at the fucking planet, this is a beautiful place. It's not necessarily the damn the fucking planet. It has its things too, because some of the cons of the planet is Mother Nature might just say, hey man, I feel like flooding this fucking area out. And sometimes they got just a reason for that shit. I don't want that, but I think next month I'll speak on that. But right now this shit is East Side High. That's why I be telling niggas, you think when I be talking it, when I tell them I'm a dang, when I get, which I rarely do, because like I said, I'm not into tough talk like that. Rap, when it comes to rap, that's one thing, so that's on like a filtering system or whatever. But what I be telling niggas, I'm a gangster, warrior, soldier, all that shit. I'm not saying that because I'm trying to be cool and that's the new shit, no motherfucker. You have to be that around here. If you don't have that type of mentality, that's why growing up in the hood is that's one of the pros of that. You learn that shit. You learn that shit at an early age. The world is a ghetto. That's why you hear Pac say, man, you like, nigga, the fucking corporate world, fuck the hood. When you go into the corporate world, it's more cutthroat than the hood. It's worse than the ghetto. The fucking ghettos we come from. Because these boys, it's a high-tech version of it. They got more money, more resources, play all kind of funny style games. But I don't want to get too, but I'm saying it to say, let me see where that shit led from all my notes. But that's what I'm saying. This shit is like East Side High. And the funny part about it is one of them guys in the dude who got beat up or who's getting his head banged up against the gym or against the floor on Lean On Me, one of them guys in the goddamn video of Paris is Burning looked like the nigga. If not him, I don't know if it was him or not. He kind of looked like him. I don't think it was him, but it kind of looked like. Well, I forgot the guy's name. I don't think it was him, but they kind of look like both Puerto Rican. They got the curly shit, curly hair. So everything is everything when it comes to that. But let me hurry up so I can get into the notes. But what the fuck? Why did I even bring it up? He had to stem from this. I'll stop go back here. But anyway, but yeah, so this shit is like East Side High. Even when you look at the Purge, that's what they're trying to show you in the Purge. And I think, I ain't gonna lie, you might think this is far-fetched, but you know when I'm talking about part one. You know when it first come on, they showing all them different recordings of motherfuckers fighting and killing. I think some of that shit is real footage. Like I've heard Hollywood do shit like that before too, but I think that was real footage. The motherfuckers getting fucked up. That's what they were trying to show you in the Purge. This is East Side High. The Purge is an extreme version of it, but basically what they showing you is a compact version of what the whole fucking world is, and how fucked up we became. That's why you know this feed the beast shit, and that's why I said East Side High, because not only do you got them up, that's why that's coming back to me with the rap shit, when I was talking about the filter, but that's what makes us different, or that's what makes us more honest as niggas. Rap, hip hop, rap, street guy, whatever. That's what makes us more honest than the average motherfucker. Because at least we get on wax and tell you, hey, bitch, I'll blow your shit off and whatever, whatever the fuck we talking about. Yeah, big guns and all that old shit. At least we'll. But see, that's what I'm saying. That inner beast that a lot of motherfuckers be hiding shit and acting like they shit don't stink. At least we. But that's why I always tell you, rapping for me is just like a way of having fun and getting the type of thoughts off without necessarily having to go out and fuck somebody up for real. Like these dumb youngsters now that wanna. That's why I said they think this shit. They take this shit too serious when it's supposed to be a form of entertainment. Go back to these boys. They don't. So instead of fighting, they would walk and vogue against each other and shit. These niggas try to everybody voguing, everybody go home. Niggas get to pulling out pistols and shooting at each other. Somebody's mama might end up dying, crying and shit. But all the shit that would push you to what the Purge was saying was all the shit that or like he was saying in that book, The Devil, by Jeff Burton Russell, all that shit that leads to violence and aggression exists in everybody. And the most dangerous motherfuckers really is the ones that act like it don't. That's why why you're, Purge, in the Purge you see some shit like, what does it say? Let's just say, you hypothetically speaking, on the Purge, but they ain't even started the Purge shit yet. They ain't voted it in yet. It's a week before they voted it in. And old Mary Lou over there in the yard watering her lawn. She's a nice old lady. Yeah, she bakes good cookies and feeds her cats and shit and all this shit. And, you think old Mary Lou just sweet. She's the best thing since sliced bread. Old Mary Lou put the pie. She got the nigga pie in the window and shit. And then one day they said, all right, now we got this Purge shit starting. Get ready. And that day, the day before the Purge come, you see old Mary Lou in the yard. Starting that butcher knife and shit. Oh, Mary Lou. Yeah, I never thought Mary Lou. Yeah, Mary Lou got some fucked up shit going on in her fucking head. You know what I'm saying? But that base with the movie showing you that. That's one of the things I got from it. You same motherfuckers that run around here pointing the finger and that's evil and blah blah blah, rap music and you will run over rap the fuck NWA and run over the fucking same motherfucker that was running over their shit with fat weeders or steamrollers and shit. 2 weeks later, Arnold Schwarzenegger movie come out. They get him. Oh, look at me. Watching niggas get their head blown off and shit. But a nigga rap about it. Just because it's coming from the niggas, it's a problem. But when you go back to the Purge, that's what they're trying to show you. You motherfuckers will be the same motherfuckers who be hiding or acting like, acting too goddamn cool. Just like with some of these niggas in the fucking conscious community and shit. Or niggas, acting like they, too goddamn, aloha, brother, whatever the fuck niggas be saying, whatever the new shit out. Whatever the fuck the new reading it in the conscious community and shit. Brother, I don't know shit. That's why I come to you straight up raw. The same nigga I talk to you like I talk to my niggas on the block and shit. Not saying them niggas all niggas is fucked up, but I like brother. And I'll tell you that shit, I like brother. And we have to. Actually, we nigga go home. He beating his wife and shit. Like what? Brother, I move. That's the perv trying to show you niggas. The same thing with consciousness. That's what I tell you straight up. Like I tell you straight up. One of my homeboys come to me right now and say, look, bro, I know you fucked up. I can't, bread with him. He'll cook you a crack. I know a block, we can go get it off it. Fuck you niggas. And you be like, how you going to poison the community? First and foremost, fuck what you talking about, because if a nigga if I get down to my last squeeze of toothpaste, ain't none of you fucking, he's poisoning the community niggas, gonna give a nigga a motherfucking thing. So I don't give a fuck about you, what nigga talking about. You talk that shit all you want, so I would hate that. But yeah, I'm a real nigga. It ain't, people do it to themselves. You be like, you would sell crack to somebody, well, why not? But it ain't about me, it's about them. If you smoke crack, not saying I'm selling people crack and shit right now, but I'm saying, if you don't know how to do what you're doing responsibly, because I'm telling you, you might find it hard to believe there's people that can smoke crack and function. That's why people say drug abuse. That's what I'm saying, word association fucks shit up. So you tell me for drug abuse. Do I give you another example? They say, man, let me find that shit. Wait, I'm getting to the next one, I'm already. But anyway, take drug abuse for example. Show you how they fuck you up with word association. Drug abuse. They tell you, they say drug abuse. If they call it drug abuse, as if the way that shit registered is you're abusing the drug abuse. It's worded fucked up because it sounds like we say drug abuse, or you you abusing drugs. First of all, how the fuck can you abuse a drug? See, if you abuse your wife, you say that's spousal abuse. You abusing your spouse, right? Or a spouse abusing their spouse. So you say drug abuse. You can't. No, you abusing yourself with drugs. They should call that self abuse. They fuck you up right there. No, you're abusing yourself with the drugs because you don't know. You don't have no sense of fucking. You don't have no sense of fucking. And I ain't telling niggas to go out there and sell dope. And this is what I'm saying. You abusing yourself. So they should call it self-abuse. They drug abuse. You're not abusing the drug. He's abusing drugs. No. Self-abuse. How can you abuse a drug? I got me a bag of weed. I'm abusing drugs. You know what I'm saying? The way shit is worded is fucked up. You should say no. Self-abuse. Now I will say that much. If you doing this shit and fucking your life up, or you don't know how to do it in a manner where you can function, then don't do it. If you can't do what you do without fucking your life up, then by all means don't do it. Alcohol, whatever it is. But that ain't the only. That ain't now. It's all about attention. Now you say, well, the CIA poisoned the community with the drugs. Now yeah, because that was the intention. But you ain't looking at the other side of it. So you say, well, they put cocaine in the community. On one hand, you say, well, their intention was to fuck you up with it. That's the problem. But another way of looking at it was they really introducing you back into some shit you was already doing before they was even on the planet. Because people used to take the coca leaves and use that to go for spiritual purposes or whatnot. So in all actuality, you can say they poisoned the community because their intention was to fuck you up. But the flip side of that is they really reintroduced you into some shit you already did. I got the proof. You don't want to fuck with me, I'll show it to you. So that's my. So at the end of the day, you don't never look at the fucking grocery store and say, well, they're poisoning the community because people are dying. They're selling pork and real just pork is enough for their own. But you don't look at the places that selling people food. When people die from food-related illnesses, you don't look up and say, well, the restaurant's doing it. They're poisoning the community and all this shit. And really, that ain't it's about how you do this shit. You can't, you eat too many goddamn fried chicken buckets. That's on you. You fucking yourself. You don't know how to pause and not eat the shit that much. You fucking yourself up. But see, if we was all stand up and say, they killing cholesterol is heart arteries and all that shit. We need to shut down Popeye. That'd be fucked up because that'd be fucked up for the people that know how to eat KFC and all this shit in moderation. I'd be mad. My dad was like, God damn. So you mean to tell me, dude, I know how to eat chicken once a week and be alright. You know, so we gotta shut the whole shit down because this nigga, these motherfuckers here don't know how to eat this shit in moderation. That'd be fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Just see what I'm saying? You gotta step outside the box. See, your mother niggas ain't gonna tell you that. Brother, those goddamn drug dealers is poisoning the community. I'm just trying to play the middle pillar. I'm not knocking niggas. I understand both sides. I'm just saying I understand both sides of the game, giving you another way to think about the shit. Because at the end of the day, drugs is not exclusive to this day and time or the past 50, 60 years. And it wasn't necessary. We had, that is fucked up because when I'm speaking about when we used to do, we did it at a time where it was more controlled and in a responsible manner, and it wasn't just all willy-nilly, so I will say that much, you know what I'm saying? Don't think I'm just totally saying fuck them niggas or whatever. I'm just trying to get you niggas to wake the fuck up and stop trying to be too goddamn puritanical and shit, and then when you get caught smoking dope and shit, oh, damn, brother, you smoking, hide and shit or whatever you do, niggas, that's why I say I'm different type. That's probably why niggas don't fuck with me. I don't, I'm lying to come to the function on something. Oh man, brother, you smoking that? Niggas telling me that weed's poison today. I'm like, well, I've been smoking this shit since I've been out of jail, and I've never really had no problem with it. And I don't know about that K2 and all that shit. That's bullshit. I would definitely smoke that shit. You got niggas out here talking about, well, they putting, they growing that weed, but I'm like, I've been smoking gas for a minute, bro, and it does me kind of good. It does me straight. I haven't no complaints. I don't know what gas you've been finding. Well, putting poison on the weed. Well, you need to find you a new drug dealer, brother. Brother, that old shit. You niggas, some of this shit, man. We gotta be real with. You gotta be real about some of this shit, bro. Stop bullshitting. I promise you'll give me. The motherfuckers you really need to talk to, the youth and shit, same of what you complain about, they'll take a little bit more of this shit. Y'all niggas lighten up on the bullshit, but this is not no PSA for you to go out and do no drugs. So I'm just telling you the real nigga shit. I'm gonna give you the real dope. Fuck that dumb shit, like I said, you ain't gonna put no money in nigga pocket. I was just thinking about it the other day. I was back to the Cash App shit. I'm like, as it gave me some. Hey man, look, I can't give you no money, but I got some coke. Look, here you go. I know some guys that take that off your hand, put the money in your pocket. What I'm supposed to do? Say, well, them conscious guys, man, they gonna sell poison in the community. They wouldn't. Same niggas wouldn't give a nigga a mother dime. That's the first thing I hit him with. Niggas wouldn't give me no fucking money. If I needed it, I'd say, what I'm supposed to do? A nigga give me this? Or sit here and try to save face for you and walk around this bitch with my breath stinking because I can't afford no fucking toothpaste. Trying to wake up to smell of fucking coffee, man. Yeah, you can say what you want to say about me, but I don't give a fuck. I know niggas. Anyway, but the point I'm trying to make is, and that's why I wish I could go long with Wild, because this type of shit would be all within if I had a 5 or 6 hour sit and I can do all this and wouldn't be trying to at least squeeze in a little bit of the fucking actual notes. But anyway, yeah, man, that's just something to think about. Yeah, if I just be looking at you niggas like, you niggas wouldn't, you niggas wouldn't donate to a nigga to help a nigga, but if I went over here and sold some goddamn drugs, you would criticize me. Oh, Brother Sam, you're supposed to be conscious and nah, fuck all that. Don't even put me, I'm me. Fuck that label shit. And this the nigga that Q-tip conscious of what? I remember that shit. You probably don't even remember that. Conscious of what? You know, cautious of what? You know. Fuck them niggas, man. That real shit, bro. Like I said, man, it ain't what you do, it's how you do it, bro. Even the concept of you saying drugs are bad comes from the white boy play both sides. So he win anyway. One hand, if you fuck up and don't do it right and fuck your life up, he win that way. But same time, he know if you know what you're doing, you can get on this shit and figure some shit out. But if he can trick you into thinking drugs is bad, it's a whole lot of motherfuckers that won't fuck with it and fuck around have some type of revelation and shit. And he ain't got to worry about you, you know, getting some downloads from Jupiter or some shit. Because you just went over here and, you know, took a mushroom or some shit, smoked some coke or whatever. Mind altering. That's why it's called mind altering. You need mind. So you niggas need your mind altered. You need your fucking mind altered because you're rigid. And even some of you conscious niggas, you stuck. You might take a sniff of blow. You might have a fucking revelation or some shit. Real shit. You know. So yeah, man. But that's what they're trying to show you. But I'm saying that to take it back to the purge. What they're trying to show you is you motherfuckers will be trying to all that same motherfuckers that be criticizing and uptight and shit. You got shit locked inside of you, so you act like you won't. You know, you act like a nigga cut you off in traffic. You ain't behind a wheel. That's where you really see it come out at. Even the fucking good guys and shit. You know, you be talking that shit about how upstanding you are, and then a nigga cut you off in traffic. You be really ready to slap their head off and shit, chasing them down just to put it, not even just to pull up on solid, all that shit. So I don't give a fuck about all that criticizing and, you know. Now, if you don't know, now I will say this much: if you don't know how to do some shit, back to the drug thing. If you don't know how to, if you can't do what you do and maintain a job and make the right decisions, or make decisions. If this shit is calling you to, if anything is calling you to make decisions that have your ass not being productive to the point to where you provide yourself with the essentials of life, then by all means stay away from the shit. If you know you, that's good too. That's good too. If you know in your mind, you know, I can't. You know, I like drinking alcohol, but I can't. When I do drink it, I can't drink it in moderation. So I'm gonna leave it alone altogether. Leave the shit alone altogether. Leave it for the pros, baby. Leave it for the pros. I ain't the biggest drinker, but yeah, you know, I'm glad I ain't never been no big alcoholic like that. You know, that shit I can't. For some reason, when I drink liquor, I gotta damn near be in the club if I wanna. Hell, don't think I'm doing some liquor and this bitch just go to sleep. I can't even drink enough of that shit to get drunk before when I drink liquor, I can't even drink enough to get the feeling before I even be like, I get too, shit after a cup of that shit or two, I'll be too sleepy to even want to drink some more. I'll be looking for the bedhead and shit. So alcohol, I gotta probably, that 9 times 10 for me to enjoy that shit, I gotta be in the fucking club or some shit or turned up. But anyway, let me get back to this right here. I just want to. This is East Side High though. Once upon now, I was going to the golden age, but this shit gonna eventually go back into some shit to where, as opposed to saying, oh, I don't want to come back. This shit gonna turn into like a fucking part. It's gonna be more like a option to where you might make the transition and say, you know what, I'm gonna come back 60 years down the line, and I'll be able to come back without worrying about it. Even when you come back, even having to start over, it'll be shit in place like it was back in the game. So I'm gonna go with look. I'm gonna get this on. I'm gonna stop right here. I'm gonna go back in. I'm gonna get this his own treatment because it's the. I want to talk about that. Let me get back to this. Got about 20 more minutes of this. Let me get back into this right here. We'll talk about that right there. My thoughts on that. You know, reincarnation and all that. But anyway, so yeah, now the thing about the Willie Ninja, yeah, you should have your butterfly, like the butterfly knife with your dope man, you know what I'm talking about? That's a figuratively speaking for having a fucking warrior inside of you that will, like I say, shoot, shank, fight, scratch eyes out, bite the nose off a nigga if you got to, take a nigga ear off, whatever you gotta do, you know. Some type of fucking battle mentality. That we live in a fucking world where that's, you know, they fuck with America, what America gonna do? They don't say, oh, you know, we don't turn to let you know America go and kick ass and come back, send your kids over there to get their goddamn noodles knocked out and, you know, all that shit. They don't, so yeah. I'm just showing you what America told me, baby. You see me talking that gangster shit. I ain't saying it because I'm a little nigga. Like Pac said, I can't run around this bitch. You act like I'm the toughest guy in the world. I'm 5'3" and some change, bucking some change. So nigga ain't gonna too much buy that for me anyway. But when I speak, I just let a nigga know thing. So at the same time, I'm thinking I'm 5'3". That's probably even more reasons not to fuck with me. I'm gonna go to a different extreme. When the other nigga about your size or some shit, he might get out there and get him up with you. Me, I get him up with you. You might get me. But when I feel him, you know what, bro? I ain't even worried about it. I catch you on a cold night, bro. Anyway, yeah, so, yeah, my height that fucking with me, that would probably be more the reason not to fuck with me. Because I don't start shit, but I end up in it. Yeah. So, yeah. But anyway, the thing about Willie Ninja, he bought that tree. Now, show you some wild shit. Now you got an apple tree guard called a Bilios. That's an apple tree guard. You got another, and this shit is crazy right here because I used to stay on a street called Beach. This is the street where, when I told you I'm from Ravencrest, Foreign West. That's my crew, original crew. That's where I came off the porch at. You know what I'm saying? Got my tough man shit going, learn how to hustle and all that shit or whatever. You know. Over there, we come through that bitch. Gladiators. That was my gladiator pad, launch pad. Then Beach Nut was more so like we more play over there. That's why I say, you know, for my H-Town niggas, Foreign Park would be SPC, Beach Nut would be SUC. More so. More player, you know, or whatever. Not to say SUC ain't had no gladiators. SUC is really a mixture of everything. I'm just, if I had to, you know, you will see the difference. You listen to the SUC, you got gladiator, all that in there. But if you listen to SPC, the niggas, ain't nobody talk about. Ain't nobody talking about balling in SPC. It's straight up, yeah, just go check them out. That was like, you know, anyway. But you got Beach Nut. Now this is no homo. You know I gotta tell these niggas shit, but no, you want to say, but yeah, you have the apple trees would be called bellio. Then you got a garden of beech trees, which is called faggots. Nothing to do with the gay shit, but it's back to Trump. That's what I'm telling y'all. When you take it outside of derogatory term aimed towards gay people, the real fucking version of the real meaning of it is tree trunk, just like punk, same thing. Same thing. But it's crazy because that's what the apartments I stayed in was called Beach Nut. But growing up, this is the name of the street. You never thought about what the fuck a beech nut was. I never heard of a beech tree till I got to get into the study and shit. But a beech nut is a nut from a beech tree. Beech. I just thought that was interesting though. So when you see him by that tree, hitting them poses and shit, I don't know if he did that on purpose or it seemed like he did. It seemed like he was trying to show niggas like, this is the book. Well, anyway, that's just how it looked to me. But anyway, but I know. Anyways, let me get back to this here. So just in case I didn't finish what I was saying about throwing shade, like I said, the first way I did, because I talked about when we say throwing shade, and basically throwing shade is basically dimming the motherfucking light, and really it's damn near like reading, because you can look at read. Okay, you look at reading. Now reading, when you gonna hear him talk about reading you're gonna hear him talking about reading each other. Now one hand reading, they just talking about like ranking each other, going back and forth, but it's a little bit deeper than that. It's like picking the motherfucker apart psychologically. So it's just like I said, niggas be talking about. When I was saying niggas who be obsessed with fucking other niggas' girls, that's all you hear. Every time you look up, this nigga trying to fuck. You see this nigga. Every time nigga fall out with somebody that's behind a bitch, or he always trying to fuck somebody else's gal or some shit, right, or whatever. And I was like, I think them niggas be gay and really be wanting the niggas and shit. That's a read. Now, that may not even be the case, but it's a different form of ranking. It's like a psychological, because you might hit something. Bing! It's like a psychological rank or whatever. So when they say shade, it's more so of a. You will see if you watch the DVD when the Venus guy was going back and forth with the other person or whatever. It gives you a perfect example of that shit when they doing it, when they demonstrating it right there. But that ain't exclusive to girls. Just do it more so when they talk shit about each other. With men, we just that's why it hit hard. When a man do it, it really hit hard because we just talk shit on the basic level. Oh, you bitch ass nigga. Oh, look at his ears and all of those shit. But women, they be trying to crush each other. So they be, bitch, yeah, your mama didn't take care of you right. You didn't wipe your ass when you was in all that shit. Yeah, it really some deeper shit to that. Because now, shade and read go together because when, that's bring back to Aaliyah. That's why Aaliyah was in the building. The Akashic Records. That's shade. The dark part of you is the shade part of you. Your melanin is shade. When you go and get a psychological, a psychic reading, you go to and you get a reading, that's basically what the person's the psychic is doing. They're reading they're basically tapping into your subconscious and telling you tapping into your history of your soul history. That's why when they give you a reading, they're like, okay, he was in this life, he was he was a farmer in this life. your girlfriend who you with now was really your sister in that life, or maybe your mother, and they can tell you all this shit because they're reading the shade, they're reading your Akashic records or whatever when you go and get some type of psychic reading if you into that. They can pretty much tell you, they pretty much giving you a history report of your soul journey throughout many different incarnations or whatever, which is not a bad idea to do. Just make sure you fucking with, I guess some up and up people or whatever. But so that's what that is, that's the Akashic records. Everybody has you have a collective consciousness, and then you have your personal Akashic records that they read and whatnot. This is normal. That's what I'm saying. This is the type of shit that would be set up. See, that shit is kind of what I'm just saying. Telling you now, that's taboo. Now, oh, he's talking this spooky shit. You get to talking that shit to the wrong person, and it sounds like movie gibberish. But before your culture got taken from you, that was everyday thing. I would guess come to a certain age, probably when it's time for your rites of passage or whatever, you'll get a read and they'll okay, but he was meant to do, did this and that in this life, or she did this and they were meant to do that in this life or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But that was everyday shit. You see that shit now, it's like a dusty little building in the corner. You see these little shit, psychic readings and shit, here and there, buildings and shit or whatever. But once upon a time, that was still like some mandatory shit you went and did because we was more spiritual people, as opposed to when we fell into this slumber and that type of shit got turned again, because that's the type of shit that your oppressor turned you against, because his whole thing was always to keep you from true power, which is inner work. So all the shit we used to do that benefited us, took that shit, gave you Islam, Judaism, Christianity, street niggaism, all that bullshit. So yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna make you niggas figure this. It's somebody that it's a woman in that damn. I told you about your boy, Willie Ninja, right? Japan. I'm looking at left eye. She in the building, but left eye. It kind of looked like he could be a part of a family and a lot of Rasu and all that. Something I'm gonna let you niggas stick this one on. Check it out though. Somebody show you how this shit all connect. Look at that guy. There's somebody in that motherfucking that documentary. I'm gonna let you see if you can catch it your goddamn self. I might, but it connects. All I give you a hint and say it connects to Lisa or whatnot. Miss Lopez. So yeah. So let me get to this right here. Now this when Dorian was saying all minorities outside of white, he's saying growing up or whatever, or basically America, period, really. He's saying all minorities outside of whites aim to live and look as good as white people. Which goes back to what I was saying, when I was breaking down how a couple, I forgot what videos I was doing, but I was saying how once upon a time, back in the game, civil rights era and before all that, fresh coming out of slavery or whatever, and maybe even doing slavery, I just use that as I'll speaking to that era, post-slavery, when we had a little bit more freedom to choose how we want to move, whatever, more to a certain degree, but And he said every media from TV to film, uh, every media from TV to film is all we had at first. No, he said every media form. He said TV and film is all we had first, something like that. But anyway, I'll basically wrap what I'm saying up. When you, for one, come from a background of, but when you live in an era, it's just different now. It's cool to be black and shit. Now, but put yourself, think about when it wasn't cool, when they was telling you was 3/5, you was just coming out of being told you was still being told you was 3/5 of man, you wasn't human, the white man was superior and so superior where you didn't even deserve to drink out the same water fountain with him and shit. And you look up, they got all the land, they controlling everything, and in order to obtain a certain status in life, you have to be accepted into their fucking ranks. In order, and the key to being accepted in their ranks was to act and be as much like them as possible. That's why I be telling you niggas right now, when you, that shit you talking about, when you dissing people for not having no, like I said, I don't want to jump up and down on one person or whatever, or an individual in particular, but I'm just saying because this is a disease within the whole culture of ours. When you, that's aristocratic cracker mentality. That all that, yeah, bitch, you broke. Look at me, I'm in a Bentley. And you at the bus stop and all this shit. That really comes from that's white people mentality. Rich, not even white people, rich, but rich because they shit on everybody. Rich, aristocratic, that ain't our culture. We don't come from that. We don't come from, at least in America, the American nigga. We don't come from, once upon a time we didn't have shit to do. You didn't have, once upon a time you didn't have shit to shine on somebody else with. They did that to you. If anything, all you did was now that they put you in a position where you have a little money, you taking on their mentality because you think that's the hot shit to do. We took on a lot of their ways and actions because that's why when he brought up media, that's a key right there because this is part of the mind control program or whatever. For one, the mere fact that once upon a time, you didn't see black people on TV like that. It'd be one nigga in the car. There once was a time where the only black people you see, and I can say that now. See, if I would have said this in the 90s, niggas would have been like, yeah, tell us something we don't know. But see, we so far removed from that now, and these kids today are so, so removed from that, it deserves a revisiting. But that once upon a time was you didn't see, all you saw was white people on TV and movies. And if you seen a nigga he had on a fucking tuxedo serving tea or some shit, or being a mammy or some shit like that, stereotypes or whatever, Aunt your mama type shit or whatever, which served, was one thing, it served them because it kept you looking like that's what you were supposed to be. So when you see this shit on TV, all you see yourself is in a submissive or subservient position, that subconsciously made you think that that's where you were supposed to be. That's all you, as opposed to now you see niggas, it's a little bit more, you see more images of them back in the game. But don't think that shit ain't still around though. That mentality, don't think that all the shit that they did back then doesn't seep out in some form of fashion today. That's why I was saying the shit about that aristocratic. You just a black aristocrat. when you all this shit niggas came into, right? You niggas is broke and yeah, bitch, my rims is liver than yours and all this whole ass shit. You know, opposed to us, I should say, like in the 80s and 90s and all that shit, where people almost expected you to, or at least wanted you to come back if you did make it. That was part of one of the reasons why motherfuckers be happy to see motherfuckers successful, because it served as a beacon of hope, which hope is that's one of the things they get you with too. But you serve as a beacon of hope or light. Maybe this motherfucker do something to make it better, to one degree or another, for niggas in general. Now, these niggas, you know them niggas ain't got that on their mind. They trying to get as much money as they can so they can shit them as many motherfuckers as they can. It ain't even about trying to make shit better or whatever. At least we had you know, some type of even if you know, at least we had a sense of maybe I can do something to help my people and shit. Even though you getting that shit fine out, they won't let you do that. If you do to too high of a degree, they'll whack your ass down. At least we had that fucking mentality. You had people go into fields of, and not just entertainment, but just fields of success or something that'll bring success with a mentality. You know, I'm gonna go in here and try to do something to make it better for black people, or truly be going to do that. But then you get in there and find out the way this shit is set up. It's set up for you not to be able to do that. Maybe a little something, pass out some fucking turkeys or some shit, and, you know, speak at a fundraiser or some other shit or whatever, YMCA, Boys and Girls Club, some shit. But for the most part, shit, at least Father Law started the goddamn. Shit, he did more than most niggas. At least he got a goddamn school and shit. The law school at Mecca. At least he did that much, you know. But I stop right here. Then I come back for show. I just go straight to the notes when I come back. I think I said that last time, I'm almost finished anyway. So when I come back, this next video should be the last one. I go straight to the notes, but I just had some other shit I wanted to kind of get off too. So yeah, y'all just bear with me.